Good morning, everybody. I hope you all had an excellent weekend and are ready for whatever the week throws at us. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about my favorite duck, well, one of my favorite ducks, that we are starting to see quite a bit around here, the wood duck. We're going to discuss where to find wood ducks, what they eat, predators, nesting, different behaviors, all sorts of things. So, get ready to learn. I know we've talked about wood ducks a few times throughout these videos. Today we're going to talk about why wood duck houses are important, and we're going to see a little snippet about why we need to clean them out and how to do it. This is a wood duck, a drake wood duck. A female is called a hen, males are called drakes, easily identified by the little tuft of fur on his head and his red eyes. The females, I'll post a picture of them, they are a little bit more drab because they need to protect their eggs. These guys are very flashy. They need to find a mate, so they have very bright colors. Right now they're in their spring mating plumage, so their colors are very beautiful and pretty. If you see any of them, you'll notice that they're a little bit more vibrant. This guy's kind of dusty. He's seen his day. But the females are going to be a little bit more, this is Wrigley's favorite toy. They're going to be a little bit more drab, but you can ID them by, oh, she just took his butt. They're going to be able to ID them by the white circle around their eye. So this is our wood duck, and this is an up-close picture of the wood duck box that we're going to talk a little bit more of here in just a little bit. If we were to open this up, we would see scratches on the inside, and that's so that the babies can climb up. We'll get into detail on that a little bit when we talk about their nesting habits. Alrighty, now that I've chased my dog around for the tail feathers of our wood duck, I will show you the inside of this wood duck box. So I unscrewed this little hinge thing, and it just lifts right up, and I don't know if you can see in there. Yep, these little lines right here are so that the little chicks can climb up on day one. They are hatched and they leave their nesting box after like 24 hours of being born. So if you look closely here, you can see that this wood duck has claws. They have really sharp claws that help them climb up because they're called wood ducks. They nest within the trees. Wood ducks are cavity nesters, like I just mentioned. They're gonna live in wooded swamps, and they're gonna nest way high up in the tree. They, like I said before, are equipped with those strong claws so they can go way up there. You can find them around the edges of swamps and streams and overgrown swamps, beaver ponds, marshes. They are less likely to live where there's just open water. They're probably going to pick a spot. They like about 50 to 75% vegetative coverage, and that's so that they can hide and forage in there for food. This cover can consist of trees and shrubs or weeds. They are, like I said before, the females are quite drab and she camouflages, and the chicks are also very drab, so they're going to camouflage in with their surroundings. Wood ducks eat seeds, insects, fruit, and other arthropods, and when aquatic foods are unavailable, they take to dry land and they'll eat acorns or other nuts. From forest and grain from fields, plant material makes up 80% or more of what this species eats. Examples of food that they eat are smartweed, water, primrose, panic grass, duckweed, millet, water lily, blackberries, and other cherries, as well as flies, beetles, caterpillars, insectopods, and snails. Wood ducks are shallow divers, and they are strong flyers. They can reach speeds up to 30 miles an hour. They are not territorial, but the males will get aggressive if other males approach the mate too close. Right about now, breeding pairs are in search for nest cavities in the early mornings. The male will stand outside and the female will enter and examine the site. They typically are going to choose a tree that is more than 1 foot, but often 2 feet in diameter wide, and the cavity can be up to 60 feet high. These little chicks are going to jump out on day one, and they will not get injured when they jump down. They have like little balls of fat on their chest that kind of activate. When they start falling, those little balls of fat catch them and they turn into a bouncy ball. We'll get to that towards the end because that has something to do with today's daily challenge. The cavities are places where the branch is broken off or where the tree has rotted, and the nest tree will generally be situated near or over water. Nest cavities can have an opening as small as 4 inches across, which is preferred because then it's harder for predators to get in there. The female will lie down in the nest with her down feathers that she pulls off of her breast. So these soft feathers right here. And she will lay 10 to 11 eggs per clutch. They will have 1 or 2 broods per year. So they can have more than 1 set of eggs in a year. The incubation period for wood duck eggs are 28 to 37 days. The chicks will hatch and alert with a full coat. The chicks will hatch fully alert with a full coat of down. And like I said before, just a day after hatching, they're going to leave the nest by hopping out of the entrance. They're going to stay with mama for about 56 to 70 days. Can you think of some predators that a wood duck may have? Some predators would be snakes, snapping turtles, mink, fox, raccoon, woodpeckers, and there's a lot of other ones that are common predators to wood ducks as well. Fox and raccoons will often go for the nesting females, while many other predators are going to take after the wood duck eggs because it's easier for them. With the vulnerability of the eggs, that leads to why wood duck boxes are important. Wood ducks were likely the most abundant waterfowl species in North America at one time, but due to overharvesting and destruction of habitat, these birds were driven to the brink of extinction by the early 20th century. The use of nesting boxes can help increase the populations dramatically. Artificial nesting boxes, like the ones I've showed you before, are the main reason for the recovery of this species. When a hen finds a cavity to lay her eggs in, she considers the size, shape, and security from predators and the elements. Nesting boxes provide a relatively safe spot for her to lay her eggs. If you look closely at my good wood duck box here, you'll see this roof sticks out a little bit further than the entrance of the wood duck box. And that's because if a raccoon or something that can climb the tree climbs over, he's going to look over the top, but he can't reach in. It gives them an extra layer and it protects them from the elements like I mentioned before. On the bottom, there's holes drilled into the bottom of this, and that's so that water will drain out and they don't drown. Even though they can swim, we don't want to soak them in there too much. So I am going to send you over to Dan Sternhagen, and he is going to teach you about the importance of cleaning out wood duck boxes and how he does it.
Hi, I'm Dan Sternhagen. I'm a wildlife conservation officer for South Dakota Game Fish and Parks. One of my favorite jobs in the early spring is to do a little maintenance on wood duck houses. As you can see up in the tree, this is one of many wood duck houses that we have out here on Mickelson Memorial Marsh. And it's important to go inside of these houses each spring, clean out any old eggs or clean out some of that debris inside. Typically what we do is we replace the wood chips that are inside or wood shavings with fresh stuff so that when wood ducks come back in the spring, they have a fresh nest to lay eggs. So what I'll do now is take you up there and show you what it looks like inside. So now I'm up here at the wood duck house on the tree. Normally there's a door on one side. That's what you'd open up and take a look inside and see what you find. You can see this one's been freshly cleaned out. Fresh wood chips, perfect for a new nest for some baby ducks.
All right, thank you, Dan. Now we all know lots of information on why it's important to clean it up, and we know what it looks like inside, what we're working with. So it is important to get those things cleaned out so the mamas keep coming back every year. Most ducks are actually ground nesters. So wood ducks are a little bit more interesting because they are cavity nesters. Ground nesters are going to find tall grass or good coverage to lay their eggs in, and they have a lot of predators that will come and eat the eggs as well. So every species has their own challenges. Wood ducks are a little bit more unique because they're actually up in the tree. Alrighty, now it is time for some wood duck facts. Wood ducks are rarely going to use the natural cavities in trees. They are going to use these nesting boxes as often as they can. If they are placed too close together, however, the females are going to lay their eggs into nests with other females. Like I said a couple times before, these ducklings can jump from the nest boxes at 1 day old from up to 60 feet without injury, and that's because of that little bouncy ball thing that they have. They're pretty cool. The wood ducks pair up in January, and most of them that arrive to their breeding grounds, so around here, have already paired. The wood duck is the only North American duck that regularly produces 2 broods in 1 year, and the oldest recorded wood duck was a male, and he was at least 22 years and 6 months old. He was banded in Oregon and was found in California. Wood ducks are some cool little birds, and I think we just scratched the surface on all the cool, interesting facts there is about them. So get out and explore and see if you can find any wood ducks around you. We have 1 pair that nests right in these trees in front of our house, and if we went a mile down the road, there's 2 more pairs that are nesting right there, and they are so beautiful, along with a ton of other ducks that are nesting right in that same area. We love to watch them and listen to them and see their beautiful colors right now. So today's daily challenge is pretty simple. The first part is to go for a little drive with your family, get outside, just get some fresh air, and see if you can find any wood ducks. The second challenge, I know you're already on YouTube, so search baby wood ducks leaving nest, and there's one from National Geographic, and it is the cutest video. You're going to want to watch it 50 times, and I think you should. So jump on YouTube, watch that video, and go for a drive with your family. See if you can find any ducks. If you do, take a picture and send them our way. If you guys do have a spot that is a good place for a wood duck box, the boxes can be up to a mile away from water. So if you're right around that area and you have a good spot and you think you want to hang a wood duck box up, you can come to the Game Fish and Parks office in Watertown when we're all opened up and get a beautifully decorated wood duck box like this one. Just call in and we'll get it ready for you and you can take that home. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you Wednesday with more fun nature programs. Bye.